like to think I'm kind of versatile. I started off doing traditional novels, pretty much grown-up stuff. And then I got into erotica, and now I'm kind of going back to young adult and children's books.
Cool. So now, can you give us an idea of what you've produced? What publications do you have out there?
Well, I have the Raven's Realm series, which consists of 5 books at this time. Let's see, it's Raven's Child, Wonders to the Soul, Chaos Within, Immortality, and Darkness Within, and that was my original book series that came out between 2004 up to 2010. And then I started with The Women of Ravenwood, which was a follow-up series, but I changed formats. Instead of talking third person, I went to first person, which was a very new experience for me, because I'm not used to doing stuff like that. It's kind of like writing a journal. And then I went back to third person when I started doing the Gods Among Dragons series, which is the newest book series.
Now, the most recent book that's come out in that series is Brothers.
Yes, Brothers is the first book in the series.
Can you tell me a little bit about the story? Like, is it fantasy? Is it what, what's it all about? Give us a little bit of a kernel of the story.
Well, Brothers is actually a switch for me, because instead of it being a modern day fantasy, I'm gone back in time. I've gone about 1,000 to 1,200 years into Viking time, and we deal with dragons and, of course, Vikings. And it's actually centered around 2 brothers who were separated at a very young age due to the greed of one chief. And the one boy, the older boy, knows that they're brothers and has been keeping it a secret. It made it look like his brother had passed away at a very young age. Meanwhile, Eric, who is kind of the star of the book, he's the youngest brother. He grew up in a completely different tribe, completely different set of beliefs, and he grew up around dragons. So he has his own dragon, and Vidar, the older boy, is not too keen of that idea. So he decides that it's about time to make things right by bringing Eric home, and trying to introduce him into the culture he would have grown up in had their father kept him.
And now you've come out with the second book.
Yes.
And that's called?
Victory. Victory is the second book in the series. It won't be out until October. And it takes place a few months later, where the brothers have kind of learned to coexist, but they still live in separate tribes. Like, Eric's gone back to the tribe he he grew up in and knows about. And there is a Viking named Rajan who discovered that Eric is not quite what he seems. Eric's, not only is he a different type of Viking, but he may not even be a Viking at all.
Oh.
Yes, he may be what they call a spirit walker or a changeling.
Wow, it sounds very interesting. Now, are you self-published?
I was self-published way back in 2004, but since then I've had 2 different publishers. My first publisher came out of BC, called Ecstasy Books, and I've switched publishers since then to a more local publishing company called KC Editions, which is based out of Sudbury.
Oh, very cool. Like to leave everything in Northern Ontario, as you say. Now, being a writer is very difficult. A lot of people don't break out with their books until sometime book number 7 to book number 10, book number 12, whatever. But there is a gathering that you really would like to get to.
Oh,
There's
yes.
a certain point you want to get to that's sort of part of your bucket list when it comes to writing. Want to tell us a bit about that?
Well, really, I don't have a huge bucket list. I kind of love writing. But I will like to attend different conferences, conventions. Right now, the one that's on my goal is to go to Graphicon in Sudbury, and then perhaps down to Toronto to some of the other conventions. As for a bucket list, it might be too big to air on TV. I mean, on radio. Sorry.
Yeah, but as far as these conventions and these conferences, workshops, writers' seminars, all that, all just keeps you going, I guess. It just keeps that spark going, and you just keep wanting to push ahead.
Well, that and actually my biggest fan is probably what pushes me ahead the most. My son is the one who got me into doing writing about dragons and doing the Gods Among Dragons, series. So I do attend different writing conferences, not as many as I would like because we don't have it quite as many in Northern Ontario as I think we should. We do have a Writers Guild in Webwood right now. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to attend as much as I would like. I think I've only made one meeting there to date due to just poor timing on my part.
Mm-hmm. No, we're all busy.
Well,
I mean, you're a mother, you work full-time, and you write.
yes.
So when this book comes out, where can people who are interested in reading your books find them?
Well, actually, it's not that hard. Chapters is one of our biggest supporters. They have all of my books available in hardcover right now as well as ebook. The soft covers of all the books are coming out very shortly. Brothers should be out by the end of the month. And you can go to Amazon. Amazon's another huge supplier. They have all of our books as well, both for the hardcover and for Kindle, where Chapters has for Kobo. Barnes & Noble has them, and quite a few online stores. I was actually very surprised. Fortunately,
Pleasantly pleased.
I'm very pleased. I have a lot of links to on my website to different companies.
And that is?
Well, I primarily have Amazon and Chapters.
In your website?
On my website.
And your website is?
Oh, my website is www.mjspickett.com. And you can find all the books there, as well as links to excerpts, frequently asked questions, my blog, which is, I like to think is somewhat entertaining.
Okay.
But on top of that, you can find me on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter.
So the internet has certainly changed the world of the writer. People still love to have hard copy and sit there and get into a good book. I for one.
Yes.
I do have a Kindle. I use it when I travel more than anything else. But that said, do you meet with kids? Do you do any seminars? Do you teach anybody the craft of writing? Do you try to share those skills with anyone?
Actually, I help a group on Tumblr every so often. I have people who come to me and they'll ask me questions, and I'll sit there and explain different formats, different writing pose, and sometimes I'll even help edit or beta read different stories, and in exchange they'll beta read for me. And beta reading is probably the best way to go before going into the editing step, because they'll help you find things I've missed, and I help them find things they've missed.
Making sure the consistency is there and the storyline follows and the subplots and characterizations and all that wonderful stuff.
Yes, it's a big thing. Like Brothers isn't too bad. It's centered around two people, but when you get to my other books where you have large groups of people, trying to make sure everything follows through can be very challenging sometimes. I know people who have like 20 main characters, and how you keep them all in track. It's like, how do you...
You gotta write a book before you write a book.
Pretty much. Writing the Bible to a book, or especially a series of books, is very key to like keeping consistent. So I often advise people, if you're doing a big series like with 6 books, just make sure you have all your ducks lining up properly, so that you don't miss anybody or stray too far away from the main plot.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today. We certainly wish you the best of luck with your new book that's coming up, as well as those books. Again, your website?
www.mjspickett.com. So pretty much www.mjspickett